making sure we devote a certain percentage of our time in each sprint to addressing tech debt. I worked for a team one time that spent 75% of its time doing database edits because the software that they built, wrote to the database, had a lot of bugs. Or it didn't exactly do what the client wanted. So the client would constantly be making these requests to manually fix the data in the database. Well, we were spending 75% of our time doing that. 25% of our time actually building software for them. And we had to eliminate that tech debt. Nobody was doing it. We had an application also that had gotten so unwieldy, nobody had ever done the care and feeding of it, if you will. And so anytime you touched it, it was 100 hours. It was just the overhead cost, 100 hours to touch it because you had to retest the thing so intensively because it was a bunch of spaghetti. You break something. So getting on top of tech debt and valuing that, understanding what that is, helping clients to understand why we're doing it. Because in the long run, it actually saves money and adds value. It's a different way of thinking. And see this happen, see this, they'll fix it later stuff going on. When we have these, repeating requests from clients to fix the data, right? That should be a trigger for us to say, hey, we've got some big cultural change. This is my favorite one, client collaboration, because this was, I think, one of our biggest struggles as a company. Achieving trust with collaboration. So the cultural belief here, at least in my organization, was execs shouldn't need to give requirements more than once. So they issued their statement about what they wanted, usually in the form of one sentence, and we were supposed to run with that and interpret it, threw it over the fence to us. And we would have meeting after meeting after meeting discussing the meaning of that sentence, parsing their words. Of course, the gut reaction behind that is client time is more valuable than ours. Clients are scared. They don't want to have to go back to their requirements. They'll think we didn't, that we're not smart. They'll think we didn't listen, So, yeah, they'll throw it over the fence to us, and then we'll spend a lot of time talking about it, thinking about it, and we'll build it. And then we'll come back to it and say, is that what you wanted? So, this was a big one. I mean, really what we had to do was work with our clients and with our teams to say, client time is more valuable than ours. They're paying for this. They are responsible for what we're building. They tell us if what we're building is right. We are responsible for telling them what we're building, what we're encountering, having a collaboration, having a conversation. And just because you have a product owner doesn't mean that that's happening. I can tell you because I've been a product owner for a while now. And it doesn't mean you're talking to the right people. It doesn't mean you're having the right conversations. I can tell you this, though, we don't get the one sentence description anymore and just perseverate over what it means. The second I get a ticketing from a client, I'm on the phone or I'm up in their office talking to the person saying, okay, let's talk about what this means. How big is this? What are some of the details behind it? What's the raison d'etre? Why are we doing this? And understanding what's the value proposition behind that. And so that type of stuff with the team is really important. Getting the team to think of the clients not as these scary executives, but it's just people who need stuff done. This is how we want to add value for the company by having these conversations. 9, self-organizing teams. This is a tough one. Breaking up roles. Well, that's not my job. Cultural belief. If I try something new, I'll fail. I'll lose my status. So traditional teams, you get the project manager handing out work. We still have that in a lot of our teams because we have a lot of people who have specific technical skill sets. Right? It's got to be written as a all that kind of stuff. It's got to be done in some third-party product. This discounts it. They're not pulling their own work from the backlog. It's a nightmare to figure out the logistics of it. You have enough people in all these different disciplines. Eventually, what we do is have self-organizing teams where people start to learn and share these different technologies with each other. If you keep the team together long enough, that happens. Also, I think a big one of self-organizing teams is this focus on getting rid of silos, where one person always did this thing, and you end up with this truck factory, right? One, meaning if they got hit by a truck, right, you couldn't get anything done. That just wouldn't work. So spreading that knowledge out, helping that team to start to branch out and take over their own work, taking responsibility for holding their own work, making sure the work gets done, not saying, oh, this person has to do that, this person has to do that, right? That's a difficult thing, because a lot of people don't want to change what they do, right? They're like, well, I'm a coder. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Well, there are a lot of other opportunities to do things that, maybe would be interesting, right? So that's a big thing to helping people understand that there are opportunities, not so much challenges or threats. These are opportunities. And lastly, I think maybe a lot of servant leadership, right? Harnessing the wisdom of the team. I struggled with this because I was an old school team lead. What that meant, 5 years ago, the old Great Lakes, is that I was the technical architect, the product owner, Scrum Master, database designer, the everything, right? And I was paid to know what to do, to come up with these solutions, and understand the business. The cultural belief is the boss knows best, right? The gut reaction is I'm supposed to have the answers. And then sometimes I would think, well, I really do want this, right? For me, I had to get out of the team's way, right? You can see, I've got gray hair, right? I'm an old guy. I don't really know the latest technology, and I haven't coded in 6-7 years, right? Product owner. My job is no longer to be the technical expert. So I had to get out of the team's way and start to say, you know what? The team needs to own all these decisions anyway. I can't say, here's what we're going to do. They don't feel ownership if I do that. So what I do now is I'll present the team with, a lot of options. Our Scrum Master will. They'll choose, how they want to do things. They are the ones who design how the software is going to work, not me, right? And I had to get out of their way, and I had to understand what my role was, and help them to be empowered, right? Bring out latent talent. So these are all, kind of difficult learning experiences for me, but they're also things that, I had to help people walk through emotionally in different organizations and in a number of different teams that I work with in Agile capacity. And helping those people understand, right, how to get above the line, how to think about not just the company in a different way, but working in a different way. They can think about themselves in a different way. Right? These are the kind of conversations that I usually have one-on-one, but they're often things that people pick up just through Agile classes. So that is it. What I'd like to do, and I was gonna, when I did this the first time, we talked about during the talk and went an hour and a half. So I thought, well, I better do it. So I'd like to throw these out there. Anybody have any experiences that they'd like to share with any of these top 10? And successes, struggles, things in your team?
I do.
Go ahead.
So on number 2, requirements. I think for my experience with Agile, that's been one of the biggest barriers to success, because many of us are, up front, and we want to know what the requirements are. And, I wish I had a dollar for every time I heard somebody say, well, when we're testing, well, that's not the requirements, and well, it's got to be done. And then we're like, well, what do we do? And we can't get beyond that, so.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and maybe it's a requirement that we didn't know was there, or it's one of those, what do they call it, implied requirements. We go to the clients and say, just so you know, what if that's a requirement, we do it. But yeah, and requirements become more detailed as we go, I guess. That's a difficult thing. We're used to having them all up front. Here's the book, here's what you're going to build.
And what's the correct way? Oh, well, let's write another user story to cover that, right?
Yeah, of course I'm a product owner, so you're going to get the PO spiel from me. So let's bring it to the clients. Other ideas, other thoughts?
I think the siloed work is a challenge. I think we have a lot of teamwork. We have a lot of siloed teams where we have platforms or we're all integrated, but we're not, like the teams are siloed. And then within the team, we have siloed work. So it's, silo within a silo. So surrounded by bubble wrap and kryptonite, so that, so we have, some teams like, well, we need to, we're supposed to do this by the end of the sprint. It's like, what? How did you bullet your sprint without having a conversation with us where we are on that? And then within the team, there's just a lot of, this is, my stuff's gonna be done, or my stuff's on track. Well, it's not your stuff.
Yeah,
That's still a good challenge.
I came out of a product that had 3 teams, and they were all supposed to be, different, have different skill sets embedded within the team. And so each team should have been able to run with the project. But what often happened is we have to bring people from all 3 teams. And we're functionally working as one large team. People like that, right? It worked. But it was because we had a hard time planning those different disciplines of the team. We hadn't really cross-trained them all yet. So it was really pushing work. And that, I think, is what we want to get away from, is pushing work. Especially this deal, and I'm a product owner, so the product owners feel, but the situation where each client had their own private, personal developer, they could call out and get work to do. And that was one of the biggest challenges, I guess, around this, is that working with those clients and saying, hey, we want to really run things to the product owner and have a team plan ahead and pull things into the sprints. Not call them up, and give them a secret assignment. So that's a product owner big challenge. Other experiences with these 10 principles struggle or succeed.
I think for me, one of the things on the individual heroics, I think we've seen that across the board and that happens. But I think the thing is hard for people to give that up. But people also have to think about the fact that we're way too large of an organization to have a single point of failure and have one person, I think you called it the bus factor, call it the lottery factor. I win the lottery tomorrow, and if I'm your only expert, which I would never be, but if somebody else in the room is the only expert, that puts the company in a bad situation. And like thinking about it from that larger perspective of, yes, it is about us as people, but we're also running a business, and we have to be able to, and we all, those of us have been around, look at all the crazy things we go out and do. We don't have time to be stuck on something because we have all these wonderful things in front of us that we need to be able, RFPs and computer systems, and there's always opportunities to become an expert in something new.
It was an interesting thing, too. When I was first confronted with Agile, I really did not like it. I was at a talk by Mark Fowler and the other guy. They were talking about Agile. I was like, this is just awful. This is, just some pop psychology thing, and it's just another way that management is finding a way to trick people into, doing more for less. That's really my attitude. And after it took me a few years, but I got beyond that and started to really enjoy it and see that it's just it's so much of a better way of doing work that I couldn't envision working in a different way. But, these things, I still struggle with some. I really do. They sound like, oh yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not. I still, companies, certain leadership, that's one that I work on still. Transparency, I think, is one that I struggle with too. And then the individual heroics too. I often feel responsible. So these are all things that I think about and for myself, but things that we each have to go through our own individual journey, sort of self-discovery, and redefining how we think about ourselves and how we think about our role and our jobs and the work that we do. It's a pretty deep personal change that eventually we're going to go through if we truly embrace Agile principles. So that's about all. Unless somebody has more discussion.
Well, I just have a comment. There's 2 things that I got out of
Louder.
value, and mindset. Change your mindset. Are we losing value?
It can be well done pretty simply, I would agree. All right. Well, coming up on time. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks again for having me.
Feedback from Brendan. At 11, we'll do the body language, communicating through body language. Get out of the way. With Holly and I. Get ready.
I have no response to that. You got it. White shirt now, right?
Yeah. It came up as an experience in the past, like a shop. Yeah.